Greetings, gentle viewers. We start this episode on a surprisingly good note, huh?
In the last episode, everyone decided to band together and throw off the mastermind's yoke of oppression and kind of fight back against him. And I'm making this sound far more poetic than it actually was, but you get my drift?
No, actually, I thought it really was, like, moving and poetic. It just, the problem was is you sounded so half-hearted, it was sounding really lame. It's true that Alter Ego died, and of course there's Sakura, which is just absolutely terrible. But compared to the way that trials normally end, or the way that, like, the feeling that we've had at the conclusion of every trial, this time it actually was positive.
Right. I mean, for one, we gained Byakuya as an ally.
Well, we basically gained the trust of a lot of everyone else that's still here.
Yeah.
And more or less. We're still really worried that if anybody else is going to do anything, it's going to be Genocide Jill. Or Toko, I guess, but probably Jill. Because she's really hostile.
Just in general?
She's really hostile to Aoi. And she, I'm really worried that after Byakuya finally decided to not be on Team Kill Everyone.
Right.
That he's not going to make it through this next chapter.
Wouldn't it just be, like, appropriate? We're finally feeling good about the guy, and then he gets frickin' murdered!
That's what I'm expecting.
No, come on!
So, we're the Bittersweet Gamers!
I'm We Squared!
I'm the Opinionator, and we have one more thing before we get going. And obviously there's still the remainder of the chapter, which is where, like, crazy stuff happens. It's happened like that every time. And like, beginning of new chapter, that's, what we're going to be getting to today, obviously. But we were asked in Discord a while back to give our thoughts and theories on Monokuma, so we're going to do that.
If you haven't joined Discord yet, there's a link in the description.
Yeah, see, if you guys want to control what we talk about, you can come to Discord and pester us until we do it too. You never know what's going to happen. Look at this! Is that a persona? Do you want to beat us up more about lockers? So, Billy, you want to go first? Monokuma.
I suppose so. I am the one who voices him, after all. I believe that Monokuma is an AI, fitting in with the whole, like, everything is sort of a matrixy, video gamey, simulation-y sort of thing.
Even if it is not that. Like, that is a distinct possibility. Even if it is not a digital simulation.
Even if he isn't, I still think...
I think the AI is very plausible.
It's the way he acts. He does not act like a human. The things he says, the way he says them, he seems really not, I want to say simple, but not like in a way that implies he's stupid.
No, I know what you mean. He seems kind of
pure in the way he talks. Like, he doesn't feel like he has all the same kind of doubts and sort of insecurities that most humans have when they talk, He also repeats the same sorts of things over and over, like, dead people are just objects. Dead people are just objects. There's something else.
No, I know what you're talking about.
Then, of course, there's the Monokuma theaters. The whole, like, choosing what he was. He refers to himself as a bear. Maybe that's just how he views himself. Maybe he's some kind of marketing AI that was repurposed after the tragedy.
Marketing AI? What do you mean marketing AI?
Well, the woman he was talking to was just like, shrimp are really in. Or maybe you want to be a crab. Crabs are really popular.
I don't know about any of that.
There's also the fact that he prepared an execution for Alter Ego.
That does seem very, very telling. So,
like, he treated Alter Ego like a person, gave him his own execution. He views the whole thing like a game. There's parts that he doesn't understand. Oh, right, one of the other things he kept repeating was like, it looks like that you couldn't leave your past life behind. It kind of seems like maybe he's trying to get everyone prepared for life after the tragedy.
So I do think that among everything you said, it went in like 6 different ways.
Yeah, of course.
That's actually totally normal. But responding to something is kind of challenging. So let me just respond to 2 things. I have a completely different take on the whole shrimp, crab, bear thing than you do. I don't take that straightforward. Okay, so also what I have to say doesn't have anything to do with Monokuma being or not being an AI. That's very plausible. I suppose it's sort of irrelevant to me. That's not.
No, I understand what you're saying.
That's not true, but at least the things that I've been focused on thinking about haven't really had anything to do with that. I wouldn't be surprised if he was. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't. Anyway. I understand that was talking about some sort of tech stuff with like those Monokuma theaters, the ones with the secret origin story of Monokuma. I understand it was talking about tech stuff, and it seemed to be talking about the form that not necessarily he could take. Well, it just depends on how you deal with metaphor, you know.
Right.
Well, before I go to that, I wanted to respond to something else that you had said. Okay. So now that I think about it. Suppose I'll sort of roll it all into one.
Okay.
You'd said that you think that he is preparing them for their lives after the tragedy. You know, I think that whether Monokuma is an AI or not, the progenitor of sort of the idea of Monokuma is be it a person who was Monokuma but no longer is, or the person who is Monokuma still, although there are too many unknowns to really speculate on at this point. It would just be shooting at the dark, but what I think we can say, or at least what I believe, is that whatever Monokuma is, he is trying to prove a point. And this may have something to do with the whole preparing them for lives after the tragedy, whatever that was. If it's even real at all,
right?
Like I just find this whole situation incredibly suspicious.
As we should.
I don't find it really credible, but I think that Monokuma definitely. You were saying that he doesn't understand how humans think. Well, I mean, I think you could say that. Like even Byakuya sort of began to understand the way humans were. Eventually, I mean, remember Kyoko of all people, who's also extremely suspicious, had to deliver lines to Byakuya like, underestimating the strength of people's feelings, it'll bite you one day. It'll bite you hard. Why couldn't it be the same for Monokuma, that he just doesn't understand people? But I think he actually does. I think
he certainly understands the students because he's able to manipulate them so masterfully.
Yeah, that it's that manipulative ability. I think that he is trying to prove a point that the way that he thinks is rather different or more extreme than other people, and that he is being so completely untruthful. I'm not sure if he really does want to bring despair or not.
Despair could be part of the point he's trying to make.
Or sort of the anti-point he's trying to make. He's so helpful, and it seems he's set this situation up for you to fight against him. Maybe it's actually going to be something like, when are you going to get around to stopping this situation? Like, are humans so miserable that they can easily be manipulated into killing each other over absolutely nothing? Or do humans have the potential to
overcome
great difficulty, even as they have the potential to cause the tragedy, whatever that is? Because I highly doubt it was, some giant asteroid strike coupled with an alien invasion and like global warming lasers from outer space. Like going back to the crabs and the shrimp thing and the bear thing, I suppose it could be more straightforward than my current interpretation of it, but I really, it was labeled as the secret origin story of Monokuma, and you definitely took like kind of a straightforward way of looking at it. I think that that's more about establishing how the things that he considers and values are so irrelevant, or that he thinks what other people value and consider is completely irrelevant to the way things actually are. I mean, we know he's warped, unless that is entirely an act, whatever his goal is, and him being warped or not, like, I don't think it could go either way.
Right. It's hard to get a firm read on him. Because the game's mostly about everyone else.
Yeah, it's not really about him.
The only insight we really get is from the Monokuma theaters.
Now, the downside is we know that, there's other games in the series.
Yeah.
This cannot be hidden. And we know that Monokuma is in them. But doesn't mean that Monokuma is the same Monokuma.
Correct.
It doesn't mean that it's the same person. Look at the Zero Escape game.
Yeah.
Like, they all have a zero, but what does that mean? I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I'm not going to talk about it here for people who haven't played those games. Go play those games. But the idea that Monokuma is in other games does lend some credence to Monokuma being an AI with some sort of overarching kind of profound isn't the word I want to use, but some sort of goal that is neither short-term nor immediately obvious. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know.
Also, part of the reason why I believe that is the whole big deal about alter ego. Generally in these types of games, like the amount of detail they went into talking about alter ego and AIs
wasn't really that much, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of got...
I just don't think it was all that much compared to how much we've gotten for other characters, other situations, other people. It seems
right.
Like
but I mean, in games like this, oftentimes when something like that is brought up, it's really relevant.
Yes,
I'm not going to say any specifics, obviously.
I don't disagree with that.
It just kind of stood out to me. I
mean, basically, you're doing the whole, hey, it sure is funny how Virtue's last reward seems to mirror Danganronpa in many ways.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's hardly anyone in a robot weight.
I do think that it is quite fascinating that even as far into the game as we are, we know so little about Monokuma.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that... I'm assuming that this game was never guaranteed to have a sequel, so it's not going to end on...
Right.
On a completely inconclusive note. So on the one hand, it makes sense because in a visual novel, you leave the heaviest and longest narrative stuff for the end. And so it's now that we've stopped fighting each other, this is
time to focus on Monokuma.
This is when we should focus on Monokuma. But it is quite fascinating how little we know about him at all. I still think that Monokuma is probably not the headmaster.
I believe that as well.
Maybe there's definitely some sort of a connection, but Monokuma even staying in the headmaster's room. But why? And we know that Monokuma was, well, I don't know. Okay, that's enough. That's enough rambling. We're going to move on now. I'll say it one more time, though. I cannot take Monokuma's assertion of what he wants at face value because I still think that he probably doesn't want us to behave in the way that he is asking us to behave.
Yes, he's just been far too beneficial and helping.
He is giving hints, and then there's the making information available that we've talked about a lot.
Rewards.
Yeah, so we do pretty much believe that.
Yes,
that is a strong assertion that we both think. So anyway, trial just ended. Time kept marching on. We all went back to our rooms, and before long, night snuck up on us. Of course! We have to start with this! At least it's not a bullet time battle.
That's true!
It is now 10 p.m. As such, it is officially nighttime. Soon the doors to the dining hall will be locked, and entry at that point is strictly prohibited.
All right, what do we get?
Sweet dreams, everyone. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
It's going to be the Monokuma theater that twists everything around.
It might be. This Monokuma theater might just totally turn the way that I'm thinking about this on its head. Nighttime descended and pulled me down, along with it, down into sleep. I mean, I'm all so excited and enthusiastic right now. And whereas Makoto is exhausted and sad or something, and I'm like, hi! So it just doesn't work, I know. I couldn't remember the last time I'd fallen into such a deep sleep.
Been through a lot.
But the night still wasn't over for me.
Oh?
A voice. I could hear a voice. Wake up. Wake up.
What?
The voice dragged me from deep slumber into hazy half-consciousness. My eyelids were like lead.
Kyoko?
What are you doing in my room?
Yeah, how'd she get in?
That's a good question.
I mean, she's doing something. Though, I mean, this is Kyoko we're talking about.
That's true.
Yes, it's me. Huh? Kyoko?
When did she get a hold of Makoto's key to copy it?
Maybe he was so tired, he opened the door and she just slipped in after him, and then waited for him to fall asleep to wake him up.
I guess it's possible that she could have somehow snuck in, but...
I said yes. So Kyoko's here.
Wake up already!
Wait, what?
In a flash, I was wide awake. What are you doing here and how'd you get in?
Time unknown.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, I like that.
Okay. Remember, whether this is true or not, we had speculated some time ago that we have no proof of what time it is.
Well, I mean, Kiyotaka had a watch, so it's not unlikely to assume other people might.
So, because of Kiyotaka's watch, time was apparently actually passing at a normal rate.
Or he would have definitely said something.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm here to wake you up.
So there's something she wants to show me. Oh, I see. Well, it's kind of nice to have a girl sneaking into my room, especially a nice pretty one, but can you tell me how you got in?
Stab.
Why every time?
It was unlocked. You're unbelievably careless.
That's it? Are you serious?
Always. And you don't have to overreact like that every time you're surprised.
Yes, I do! What time is it?
Correct.
3 o'clock. In the morning, of course.
It's 3 a.m.! Oh my god! Why was Kyoko waking me up at this hour?
Like she's looming over the bed.
Huh. I guess I can't just leave. Well, let me go to the bathroom. I gotta do that every time I wake up. Huh. That's an old description. Anyway.
Just examine everything but Kyoko.
Oh, this lamp.
Lint roller.
And the lint roller is still on his floor, but I mean, look at the other people's rooms. What little few glimpses we've seen. Glances? What's wrong with me?
I like how Makoto doesn't have anything to decorate his room with.
He didn't have anything to bring.
Yeah.
Except his lint roller.
No, I'm pretty sure that was provided to everyone.
God, what a slob. It's so late. What's going on?
I have a favor I need to ask. This is that kind of game now, is it?
No, this is suspicious,
I know,
but it is
I know.
Kyoko. What do you need?
So,
Remember what Sakura said at the end of her note?
Okay, so this is like this kind of business.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting out of here business. Okay, understood. Yes, I do.
I'm not going to just lay down and die. I will fight you.
Right. When we were
Let's
talking,
go, Makoto.
when we were talking before, you know, this points to reality not being what it appears.
Uh-huh.
I mean, whether death is actually happening or if it's just bowing out of a game, I mean, we have no idea. I don't think it's just as simple as bowing out of a game,
I don't think it's that simple
though.
either. I want to find out what she meant by that.
Presumably, when we find that out, we'll find out a lot. And I think,
That's kind of the crux right now, isn't it?
yes, it is. Okay, so how do you plan to do that? Then Kyoko put her lips next to my ear and whispered,
Oh my. The data center on the 4th floor.
What?
goodbye.
I'll meet you there.
But how do we get in? Without another word, she was gone. Now she
Maybe
had...
that's what Sakura did before she killed herself. Just smash the door down and then No, because Monokuma could probably fix that.
Well, right. For instance, if this is a digital world, then it's just data to be repaired.
Right.
If this is not a digital world, we're still dealing with a place that can fix anything and replace things infinitely, so he can replace the door.
True. It's also possible he may have unlocked it as part of our reward.
That is true. Now, Kyoko whispering, of course, is to keep it secret from Monokuma.
Right.
What the? Her words reverberated through my half-dazed head. The data center? But I thought it was locked. I'll just pick up this lint roller. I can use it as a hammer if something goes wrong.
In case the enemy is particularly shaggy, we can clean him up. Looking at you, Yasuhiro.
I made my way into the after-hours school and headed for the data center on the 4th floor. Eventually, I wound up there, but when I arrived, Kyoko's not here.
Oh, that's not good.
And now that I think about it, aren't situations like these how murders have been happening? Well, that's weird. She said she'd meet me...
Oh god, if Kyoko killed someone, that would be the ultimate betrayal.
Unless that was Monokuma that was talking to me. Is she maybe inside already? Yeah, that would be the ultimate betrayal, yes.
Something to be careful for.
And this is tense.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess it could happen. I really doubt it.
Well, we've doubted that about a lot of people, so... I don't think so either, don't get me wrong.
I put my hand to the door, and with a certain amount of force...
Oh.
It didn't open. I tried again, but... It must be locked. What was it Kyoko said? The data center on the 4th floor.
What's this?
Oh, what are you doing up, mister?
Ah! Overreaction! Yep, I bet you're right.
I mean, he said that there's multiples of him, but I think he only I think that's
Did
only when
he
he wants
actually
them.
say
He did pop
that?
up as 2 bears, but it may not be...
No, he said he was moving with such super speed that it was looking like...
Yeah, but that's, of course, that's what he said.
We've never seen more than one at a time other than that.
That's true.
And his perception appears to be singular as well.
That we know of.
I mean,
he knew about alter ego.
Of course he knew about alter ego, and we both thought he knew about alter ego, too. We never thought for a minute that he didn't.
Right.
But the thing is by getting... I mean, you're probably right that this is a decoy. By having Makoto go someplace around the headmaster's office, which Monokuma said is his room at the moment.
That's true.
To a place that's been locked, and he's just milling about, it's going to catch Monokuma's attention. We still, well, at least I'm still wondering how much of all of this is for Makoto's benefit, or about Makoto.
It seems pretty there's like a lot of evidence that seems to point to that.
At least some, like a lot of the way that Kyoko talks and Monokuma as well, and the fact that nobody really responds to Makoto taking the lead in the trials.
Right.
Sort of like a perdition kind of thing. But anyway, there's no way that Monokuma wouldn't take the bait of Makoto
snooping around, yeah,
where then somebody else. If Kyoko wanted to do something, isn't it awfully convenient that the person that she always is working with, that the person that she does trust, the person that she says these things to that seem to indicate that she has a much better idea of what's going on, or that Makoto is special in some way, will that person just happen to carelessly leave his room unlocked?
Yeah.
On the night she wants to do something with this operation here.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Of course she did something to get in. What that is, I don't know. There's no way it's that much of a coincidence.
Breaking into a locked room is incredibly prohibited, don't you know?
As opposed to only mildly prohibited? Oh, I mean,
You're trying to tell me you didn't actually bust in yet, right? But...
Well, maybe it might have been unlocked after the class trial, and I just wanted to take a look because I was curious, Mr. Bear. What do you think of that?
I can see that, you dolt! Don't waste my time telling me crap I can see for myself! It looked like you might break in any second, so I just thought I'd give you a friendly reminder. Or are you going to try and tell me you were sleepwalking or something?
So you mean we can't use the toolkit you gave us to open the doors if we don't break through the... I'm done. Okay.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, for crying out loud. Even I get tired, you know.
Do you really? Do you really?
I mean, stop being weird and go back to bed. What's wrong now?
Just a second.
Why are you out here making a racket?
Kyoko! Oh my god!
Now you two? Whatever, the two of you, just get back to bed. I'm positively exhausted from the class trial.
Ah, yes, Operation Overload You. Make a lot of mischief that you and act in ways that you have to keep checking up on us.
It's true.
Sure, you got it. Come on, Makoto, let's head back.
Huh? What? But the scary bear is the...
Didn't you hear me? We're leaving.
Okay. I don't even know what's going on, but that's okay.
Don't worry about it. Let's just go.
Okay.
Yeah! Go on, get out of here. Shoot!
Wake you up in 15 more minutes, you stupid head! I'm the best at insults. So we left and went back to our rooms, and hopefully I don't have to wait that much longer to find out what the heck just happened.
Oh, Damon, we won't know till the next chapter.
And then...
Bye.
So, goodbye.
Why do you keep doing this? Come on! Hold on! What was all that about just now? She woke me up, made me go to the data center, which just so happened to be locked, and I haven't put together this stuff yet because I woke up at 3 in the morning and I'm actually here dealing with this, so maybe I haven't quite, staying on the ball as much. Then she shows up late, and we leave without checking a single thing. What was the point of all that? Can I overreact some more?
Don't worry about it.
Well, I figured that would be the end of our conversation, just like always, but...
Bye.
Well then, good night.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay. Then that was over. But as I turned to leave...
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Oh.
Kyoko was right next to me once again, whispering into my ear.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba, huh? Speaking of which... Kyoko did get to read some of those documents and
true.
Never did talk about the contents of them.
That's true.
The 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school.
I
Okay.
see.
The one they call the ultimate despair.
Ultimate despair?
Watch out for her.
So... Oh, okay. All-star apologies. It's probably best that we didn't think... and with no shape, no less.
Yeah.
It's probably better that we didn't go back to think about what the title of the chapter was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not pleasant. There is still a lot of information that we know that Kyoko and possibly even Byakuya know.
Right.
That we don't.
Well, let's hope he's a bit more forthcoming about it. He had a monopoly on all those important documents.
Those may not necessarily be all that important, but he might have
If there
something.
was anything, he'd have found it.
I don't think that he's going to be, like, pleasant or something, but
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that he'll cooperate. He even has come to give everybody information.
That's true.
Like that. Let me into the group too, guys. I'm just an asshole.
Please don't leave me alone with Toko.
That's probably really what it is.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Okay, so just to get this straight, right?
Uh-huh.
Kyoko turned to walk away, and we saw her turn, right?
Uh-huh.
And she walked away, and then she spun and stuck her face in Makoto's ear.
Yes. She's very skilled.
That's pretty impressive. Probably kind of pleasant, too, for
The
Makoto.
16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
Mukuro Ikusaba.
It just seems important right now. So I guess this section is going to be about the 16th student. It is about time. I imagine crazy stuff is going to be happening.
Excellent!
That is good.
The one they call the ultimate despair.
And ultimate despair.
Watch out for her.
And how do you know that?
I'm just picturing a goth student.
Kyoko told me to watch out for her. Mukuro Ikusaba. That was 3 days before the next incident. 3 days before we would be faced with another murder. So after everybody comes together, then something else happens.
Yeah,
Presumably from an external,
that's true.
which is clearly what the implication is, and we're being told that
Yeah,
now.
I think that's the strange part. He's telling us 3 days and then the murder.
That is
Suspicious.
very suspicious.
Uh,
3 days before the worst thing so far would reveal itself?
oh my god!
So that maybe was the 16th student? I had said that at the time.
It's very possible.
You know, the implication was that it was the headmaster, but I was like, maybe it's the student.
Well, the 16th student.
This is a female.
Yeah, 16th student is supposed to be the trump card, but wasn't the figure masculine? Masculine that got Makoto?
There wasn't really any way you could say one way or
I
the other.
suppose so.
Not like we got a long look at it.
That's true.
Anyway, just because this person's wearing a mask doesn't mean
Right.
that it's the same person. But I mean, doesn't that arm look feminine?
Yeah, it looks like the nails are painted.
"100-mile dash! Pain of a junk food junkie!" Hasn't the junk food junkie already had enough pain? If we're talking about Asahina and her donuts.
Right?
Huh.
This is so strange.
Is it bad? I guess it is bad to kill the 16th student.
Yeah,
Because there's still
that means that someone else is gonna have to die.
Yeah. Are we going to be facing the self-defense thing? Or
Well, it doesn't matter.
In the meantime, the day after Sakura's class trial, that morning in the dining hall. So doing it this way is just making us, it would make us not only have a lot of anticipation, but we'd want to be hyper vigilant of everything that occurs.
Yeah.
Isn't it really that different?
I suppose so.
For us, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we haven't done anything so far. That's pretty good.
So, let's begin the usual post-trial investigation. Hey, didn't you make small talk or anything?
Matt! Start over.
I'm so sorry. Bip, bip, bip. Hey, you didn't make small talk or anything. We never just get straight to the point like that. If you want to keep up with me, you must refrain from pointless small talk.
Jeez, how high is that horse of yours?
It's a giraffe. He just acts like that to hide his own insecurities. That's what I like to think anyway.
That's pretty accurate, honestly.
Regardless, if you want to defeat the mastermind, you need to follow my lead. They creep around the school like a mouse, but the mastermind's pride is as bloated as a cow's udder.
Thinking about it, Byakuya would be an expert on understanding bloated pride.
My family.
And no matter what it takes, I will rid this world of them.
Huh?
Hey, Toko, you've been pretty quiet. I'm not arguing, but... Man, you're so boring now. You just sit there, like a mushroom. Gonna start calling you Miss Mushroom.
That's kind of random there, dude.
What's your deal?
She didn't snap back at you.
Her talking makes things difficult, so I told her not to open her mouth without permission.
That's pretty amazing! That everyone wins! Toko is quite happy with this. Not only is Master paying her attention, but Master is giving her orders.
Yeah.
What? But if she can't open her mouth, she can't eat or drink water.
I don't care.
How about that?
And you're okay with that, Toko? All right. Jeez, how low is that rock you're hiding under? About as high as my horse. I believe this is the small talk Byakuya warned us against.
Come on.
And yet, I let myself get involved.
That's how we get you! You can never escape!
But it is now finished. I will never allow you to drag me down to your level again.
It'll happen easier every time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're going to begin our search. Stop running your mouths and start moving your legs.
Pressured by an obviously irritated and beginning to be tamed Byakuya, we all started our exploration. What's in here?
No, Damon. That is dead. Move on with your life.
I need to let it go? Wasn't this your idea in the first place? You're the one who came up with it first.
I know. Now that it's been proven wrong, I'm backpedaling as fast as possible.
I know Monokuma said he was using the headmaster's office as his room for now.
Uh-huh.
But could he really be?
Seems to me like he'd be more stationed at the place that looks like it's full of monitors and with the Monokuma face.
There is most definitely a Monokuma face there, like we'd said before. Then we just moved on to other things. Is that evidence? Because he don't want us in that headmaster's office.
Not yet, anyway.
So that either means he's concealing the information deliberately, or it could be interpreted as evidence that there is a controller and a Monokuma. You know, maybe he's like a head in a jar in the office, transmitting his consciousness into 50,000 Monokuma robots all crammed into one closet.
Oh, God.
No, in all seriousness, we already have seen that Monokuma spends all his time in that room.
Yeah.
In the data center. So here I am on the 5th floor of Hope's Peak Academy. The 5th floor has been opened up to us. And unless there's a staircase here, there's only one other place that hasn't been opened.
By the warehouse. The stairs by the warehouse.
Yeah. And it's totally different from all the floors we've seen up till now. I mean, you notice the plant life over there. Remember how we were really concerned about Chihiro?
And the mosquito?
And I do remember us thinking that maybe there was something like that higher up. For some reason, it feels unpleasant. Bamboo.
The Jaguar room.
Nighttime secrets. No more.
He's so dirty. There's Makoto in the corner.
Oi! A violin. Okay, so the obvious gag aside, maybe the fact that it's Monokuma, maybe the fact that it's Makoto and Kyoko here. Is it possible that he's graffitiing for us to stop?
Maybe.
Didn't it seem like he has written notes specifically to Makoto?
Yeah. For example,
This one here. Ha! Catch me if you can!
wait up! I'm gonna punish you! Gross.
I feel the need in the next investigation or something to run and look at all of these. Look, Toko, it's okay. I won't tell anybody that you opened your mouth to eat or drink. I promise. Does she want to talk to me about something? Toko, what's wrong? Is she trying? Open your mouth, for God's sake!
Write something down!
I think she's almost... Just a little more and I might get it. Let me just stick my ear right up there. Maybe you can blow it out your nose. Ah! Okay, I'm sorry, but I have no idea what it is you're trying to tell me, but there might be chalk for the chalkboard?
You want to play charades?
She just let her shoulders drop. She looks so sad. I guess she gave up.
Paper or something you can write on, woman!
So do these notes mean that Monokuma is starting to actually really get upset at Makoto?
Maybe.
Kinda
Maybe.
Kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This floor feels different compared to all the others. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's radiation? Is there some reason for that? I hope it's not anything too creepy.
I feel bloodlust in the air.
Maybe you do.
Oh my
God! What the hell is this?
I think we've entered the murder room.
Okay, I was wondering if it might be something like wires, but I mean, it's like slashes all over the place.
One of the lights is broken. Two of the lights are broken.
Interestingly, the camera and monitor,
Naturally.
they are completely untouched. Well, remember,
Also, it's blood colored.
let's get to that in a second.
Uh-huh.
Remember that destroying the camera and the monitors
It's against
regulations. So even in whatever craziness here,
Bodies drawn in chalk.
right? At least 3, so 4,
Yeah.
5. I can't tell if there's one on the far left there. And eye for an eye, sure. But like you pointed out, the giant thing of great notice is that the blood is colored red, dark red. Mm-hmm. What is the difference?
I mean, that may mean dried blood, but
What? No, it's always. There's no way it still would have been wet after the amount of time that we'd had before.
well, I mean, that's what it might mean. Like, it's dried blood.
I
so
think
it's
this is
dark
something
red.
that happened a long time ago. A long time ago. Does it mean that it's in a different reality?
Maybe.
What the hell is this? The grotesque horror of the room struck me hard and fast. I mean, it's different. It's not the
Drastically
same.
different.
So there's, like, we may as well assume that there's more different. What I saw was bad enough, but what I smelled, it was sour, pungent, impossibly rank.
I see.
It smells awful, doesn't it? It must be at least vaguely familiar to you. After all, you've been around your fair share of corpses.
So why is it that Makoto didn't react to this before? Volume, I guess? Or
Possibly.
is it something else? Are you saying?
It's the smell of death, their flesh and fat and blood.
There was no surprise in his voice, no shock. But he was right. I had experienced this smell more than once before. It was the smell of death and despair.
But the smell here is strong, condensed. It's the smell of a battlefield.
Perhaps the blood here is real, and the blood from the murders is fake.
Yeah.
For instance, if the previous batch of students, which again we've been assuming exist solely because
We saw someone executed at the very beginning.
yeah, and it's still plausible that Kyoko, this isn't necessarily the case, we're not necessarily asserting this, but we've considered the idea that Kyoko is
From a survivor, yeah.
from the last batch. So it could be that, say, these people decided to try and escape and it ended up in a battle, and this is actual blood instead of murder game blood.
Yeah.
Monokuma must have...
What? My fault again? Stop trying to blame everything on
But
me!
everything is your fault! If you hadn't done what you did, this never would have happened.
No. It's quite the opposite.
The opposite?
Yep. Let me give you an itty-bitty, eegee-squeegee little hint.
I don't want an easy squeegee hint. That's gross.
As far as this room goes, I don't know a thing.
Like this when you got here, huh?
I left it exactly how I found it.
It really was like this when you got here, which implies a time you weren't here. Huh.
How's that for a hint? Better than those stupid hints you get from NPCs in those mean old RPGs.
About the same, really.
But it's pretty scary, huh? Blood all over the walls and junk.
Yeah, are you afraid? Come here, let me give you a hug. I'll make it all better.
Boom!
I'll just start examining everything on your body and seeing if I can't find something.
Of course, even in the outside world, people die bloody, gruesome deaths every day.
I can't wait!
So it's not really a big deal. Just keep your chin up and keep on living, soldier.
What the hell is he on about this time? He just left it the way he found it. What is the extremely important meaning of all this?
Jesus.
Maybe this is not real. No, if one has got to be real and one has got to be fake, which isn't necessarily the case, then this is the one that's real.
Right.
Byakuya, about what Monokuma just told us. It's like I'm not even here. He must be lost in thought. Kind
Take
of like
what we can get.
Kind of like us, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Is he really thinking that hard? Or is he just flat out ignoring me?
Maybe a little from column A, a little from column B.
Oh, God, there's even more. 6?
God.
There's white chalk outlines drawn all over the floor. How many bodies were there?
That's why Toko was in a different classroom. She couldn't be in here.
Oh, God, yeah. You're exactly right. I've seen this kind of thing on detective shows and stuff like that. You always see it at the scene of a murder. I wish I could say I don't believe it. Goodness.
Handprints all over the walls. Just the blood splotch
And then that door.
that she came in.
Is that the case? Well,
That's
anyway.
usually what it is.
There's blood all over the place. I want to shut my eyes forever against such a ghastly sight.
It appears all the blood stains are dry.
Right?
And their color has changed as well. I think it's safe to assume these stains are considerably old.
Right. This is all really blood?
Of course. I wouldn't find it interesting otherwise.
Okay, you can drop that. Or I mean not, whatever.
And it is interesting, I assure you. What on earth happened in this classroom?
We've kind of talked about it a little bit, but we won't rehash it for you. You can just go and watch the video. It seems like he's enjoying himself. No way can I keep up with someone like that. I mean, is it enjoying himself, or is it that he's just interested in what's going on?
Yeah. He just wants to solve the mystery.
Okay, do I go to microscope, potted plant, or dojo?
I think we should go to the dojo last, all things considered.
Fair enough. Long hallway.
Raw.
Weird.
We're gonna go there last. I think we should go to the microphone place last. Microphone? Microscope. Micro something. Biolab.
No, it's too late. I'm going in there now. There's a lot of empty space here, isn't there?
Yeah, it's very foreboding.
Different than there normally
Oh.
is. Well, it's locked. We came all this way just to be denied here. The sign in the hall says Biolab. Totally makes sense for a high school. I mean, I don't think it's just biology, you know.
Right. Zombies!
A biolab that we're forbidden from seeing into. Kind of sounds like something hazardous.
Created by the Bumper Shoot organization.
It's like something you can sort of enjoy.
Sort of.
Two-dimensional bamboo. I like bamboo. I like the way it looks and I like the way it tastes.
What are you, a panda bear?
We can eat it when there's shoots. Oh my god, are those Rafflesia?
And like pitcher plants and giant freaking Venus flytraps. Feed me, Seymour.
No! Does it have to be Byakuya? I can't make that joke though, because he's kind of cooperating with us and stuff.
Must be blood. Must be fresh. At first I thought I saw blue skies, but turns out they just painted the walls and ceiling.
You know?
Oh, but the plants are all real. I can tell from my nose. It's been a while since I've smelled vegetation. It helps me relax.
How are those things alive? Hordes and hordes and hordes of insects? I mean, it was
I don't know.
It was a mosquito that Chihiro found.
The last survivor of its kind.
Well, I guess it just... How'd it get out?
Oh.
Well, we shouldn't worry about that too much, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just a bug. They could get out and... Huh.
I mean, the ventilation probably has grills or something, but not. Maybe they're not big enough to stop a bug.
Well, presumably you wouldn't expect a random bug to just go that far, 4 floors down. But
Yeah,
in
but
any
if
case,
there's any, if it's a blood drinking mosquito and there's only people on the lower floors,
that's actually exactly what I was about to get to. That was a mosquito.
yeah.
What do they eat? Why would there be mosquitoes here? Where'd it come from? Still. And I mean, is there just a factory of flies being pumped out to feed those things?
That's not what you're thinking, is it?
What? Why? I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore.
Don't you get it? Don't you realize the true horror of plant life? Like a shop of horror. It's there, just beneath the surface, beneath their calm exterior. They're always watching and waiting to abduct your hamburger.
Yasuhiro, are you concerned?
Plants are bullcrap! And when they decide they can't leave us in charge of Earth anymore, a horrible movie gets made.
You think a dandelion is gonna, like, come up and kill you in your sleep, or...?
They'll put their plan for global human extinction into action.
I can't let you stay here. There's something funny in the air, and it's making you more addled than you normally are.
I'm serious.
That's why I've got to get you out of this room.
Why are you looking at me funny?
I'm not even looking at you funny. You just
Not
can't...
you, the plants.
What the...
I'm scared, Damon.
Ah! What the heck is this? This thing is super weird, super creepy. Flowers aren't supposed to get this big. Is this thing even real?
Watch out!
Ah!
That's a Monokuma flower. I came up with the name myself. Try and touch it, and you're in for some real excitement. Your heart's all like, whoa, and the plant's all like, snap, and your flesh is all like, blah, I'm dead.
Can you do that one more time?
Blah, I'm dead.
In other words, it is a monstrosity.
It's pretty frickin' amazing if I do say so myself. A student at Hope's Peak added improvement after improvement and created this miracle creature.
So is it...
Where do you think the corpses go?
Oh...
The ultimate botanist, although they don't go here anymore. They died during the tragedy.
The tragedy of the last time this happened, or maybe a couple of times before then?
Actually,
By the way, despite how it looks, that flower is super practical. It can eat paper, plastic, even people. So it's totally good for the environment. Such an eco-friendly creation is vital for the future growth of a healthy society. Not that I know anything about that myself.
So is that all one plant?
Good lord.
Spouting more and more nonsense, Monokuma eventually disappeared. Whatever it is, I am not getting anywhere close to it. Ooh, look, it's a... Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Oh my god. And of course there's a camera.
But you know, camera. Gardening tools. Potential murder weapons.
Just to be sure, I should take a look in that tool shed. This place seems totally disorganized, except not really at all, actually. From a lawnmower to fertilizer, flower pots to farm tools. And leaning against the back wall, is that a pickaxe?
That does appear to be what it... Is that Monokuru?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy diamond, huh?
Really?
That's Mondo's gang, right?
Yeah!
There's something carved into the handle of this pickaxe. Crazy diamond? I feel like I remember seeing that somewhere.
Huh!
And what can we do with a pickaxe?
I mean, other than kill someone, probably not much. We could potentially batter down a door.
Bags of fertilizer are piled up. So many different kinds to choose from, but they're all really small bags. Okay, we got some hose.
Oi! Don't be disrespectful.
Different kinds of gardening tools here. Are they trying to get us to become self-sufficient?
But why? They've got a library.
Rope and cord.
A kitchen that, like, replenishes itself.
Pliers and shears. A bag suspended from the whatever. There's a lawnmower here. What about gas? Well, I guess it might be electric or something. Anyway, who's actually going to take care of the lawn? And
what lawn is there to take care of?
Outside?
But you wouldn't use a lawnmower. There's giant plants everywhere.
And I mean, if it's not overgrown now,
yeah,
it's not ever going to be overgrown, and there is some gasoline, okay. Flower pots, big ones, little ones, any size you might need. Maybe I'll grow some flowers to finally get some decoration other than that notepad and discarded lint roller in my room. I mean, at this point, it's too late to be like, it's a murder weapon!
I mean, because we kind of know what the murder weapon is. Based on the flash forward. It's like a dagger or something.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have banded together, then the only way to cause a murder...
That happens sometimes! Have you seen that?
That's weird!
This is not the first time... I think that's like the third or fourth time that has happened.
What is going on? That was so strange. What I was saying is, since they've banded together, they probably need the 16th student to commit a murder to get things going again. Because it looked like, based on the flash forward, the 16th student was the one what got killed, so maybe it is a self-defense thing.
Huh. Well, we'll get to that when it happens.
Right.
So a chicken coop. What's a chicken coop doing here? Where's the chickens?
It's Mono chickens!
There's the chickens! This place even has chickens. That's awesome!
Who's been feeding them?
They're just...
I guess Monokuma.
Or this place just gets refreshed every day. I mean, again, we have more evidence and reason to think that this is not reality, or at least special reality.
That's true.
Than we do to think that it is reality. They're just regular chickens, right? Like, they don't eat people... Or lay bombs instead of eggs or something crazy like that.
That's some imagination you got there.
Seems safe. I like chickens. It's a chicken. It is alive. There's no mistake.
Makoto is so suspicious of everything now.
Second form.
Look, man, look. Just don't attack them with your sword and they won't infinitely spawn and swarm you.
It's not expecting to be fed like humans, is it? It's not gonna lay a bomb, is it?
You know, I can appreciate this level of overthinking, can't you?
Yeah, I really can.
Oh, you like chickens too, Makoto?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Like he pulls one out of his hair. Yeah, I love these little guys. They're seriously cute, right? And there's exactly 5 of them here, except there aren't.
No, there were 5 in there.
Were there? Are you sure? Because I could have sworn there were more.
No, each one had their own little description, too. We'll go back in a sec. Exactly?
5! You know, the number that comes after 4 and before 6. At least in terms of natural numbers. Anyway, whenever the number 5 pops up, that's a good omen. It contains the mysteries of the cosmos.
Were you talking about whole numbers? Or, no, you're a numerologist.
It's a number of power. A refreshing number on par with hand-squeezed all-natural lemonade. What the hell am I talking about?
He never lets me get a word in edgewise, but to be honest, I'm kind of afraid to have a conversation with him, so that's fine.
Woo! Yup, no matter how many times I check, there's still precisely 5 chickens.
Whoa.
That's the number that comes... Yes. No, come on, now it's not gonna let us check. I could swear there's more than 5.
There were 5.
I'm losing my mind.
And there's some kind of control panel set near the wall. Does it control the air conditioning or something?
It's for the sprinklers!
Sprinklers.
You know, water. Yeah, it controls the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off every morning at 7:30. Don't you dare change it without permission. Of course, the setting panel is locked, so you couldn't change it if you wanted to.
So that means the sprinklers go off at 7:30 a.m. every morning?
Yep, you got it. It's super user-friendly, which sucks, Don't worry about it. This totally won't become a point in the next trial. So if you get here too early, you'll get drenched. So watch yourself. But you're not a little kid, right? You're too old to go running through sprinklers anyway.
You're never too old to go running through sprinklers.
Or do you have some kind of water fetish? I'm gonna tell everyone! Your secret is safe with me.
Okay, so that is the sky then.
What? No, it's painted. It's a painted ceiling. Yasuhiro just said he thought it was the sky, but it's the walls and ceiling that were painted.
I guess it really does. How can he have credibility? But looking at it, you can see it.
Yeah.
You can see it like there. So how do they get sunlight?
Sun lamps?
I mean, see, that's kind of why I was thinking that it might actually be.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice, very nice. A suit of armor is on display, and it is extremely Japanese.
Unsurprising. And it's Sakura petals. Of course, the dojo is full of Sakura petals.
Oh, Billy, who cares about petals? Look what we found.
Yay!
Oh, it's a straw post used for sword practice. Do they use it for training here, too?
God, are there swords here?
Just like Bokuto, you know?
Well, that's still enough to be used as a murder weapon.
Oh, yeah, Bokuto can eat wooden swords, can easily kill people.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of... Oh, they're made of wood.
We're not interested.
The wooden lockers and keys remind me of super old school public bathhouses. Even though this room is totally enclosed, there's a cherry tree planted here and it's in full bloom.
It's quite elegant.
This is what you consider elegant?
I lived overseas for a long time, so this kind of Japanese-style scenery is refreshing.
Why did I say that like this was so surprising? But considering our situation, isn't it kind of out of place?
This is what you say is out of place, Makoto?
So, sakura trees in full bloom. No sky.
Uh-huh.
And...
archery targets.
Like another room full of plants with, again, no sun, no sky. Are these always going to be in full bloom because that's what the setting is?
Probably.
Huh. And why is it on the top floor, and why are we getting to see it now?
Maybe the roof opens at certain times of the day to let sunlight in. I mean, that might be overthinking a little bit, but...
Or the night, maybe it's locked. I do think it's dangerous to just keep assuming that we're in some sort of non-reality. I think we've made our case, but I don't think we shouldn't act like it's definitive.
Yeah.
Okay? One of the reasons I say this is, remember, we were explicitly told or forbidden from going to the dining hall late at night, but nowhere else.
True.
So if it is just all digital, then why would there be a problem for us to go into the dining hall?
Well, we're not sure what rules this place operates under.
Well, why the dining hall and nowhere else that has things that can be replenished?
That's a good point.
And I mean, it wouldn't actually be replenishing if it's just resetting the rooms.
Unless that was a clue for us to get out.
That's why I'm mentioning this now.
I see. Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
And then again here, after everything else, here on the top floor, we find, presumably, life.
Yeah.
Animal life and plant life. And this is what we get in the next floor. That is significant. What Kyoko told me yesterday, what the heck did it mean?
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school.
She's over there in the armor!
The one they call the ultimate despair.
I suppose Ikusaba could have been on this floor. Stuff to eat.
Yeah.
Watch out for her.
Kyoko.
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, the camera's right.
I can't say anything.
Kyoko narrowed her eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Her gaze darted up to the surveillance camera.
Hey,
You understand why, right?
She was trying to tell me that whatever it was important. The mastermind couldn't find out. But how did Kyoko get her hands on information that could be that important?
So then,
We're finished here.
She made it very clear that our conversation had come to an end. Thinking back on it, there's also something has been done to our bodies, and we don't know what that is. And just like usual, I didn't understand anything any better than before. That target seems pretty far away. Gotta say, pretty proud of my eyesight.
It's pretty easy when you can zoom in.
Huh. Life. Modifications to body. 16th student. Trees that are always in bloom.
Right. Ultimate botanist.
Well, sure, we have the ultimate botanist.
I mean, she could have made the trees like this before the tragedy.
Chihiro was the ultimate programmer solely because of his experience with AIs based on himself. Okay? Just because Leon's the ultimate baseball star doesn't mean that he can fire like flaming rockets from his hands.
That's true. That's true.
Like, we can't defy reality here.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing that we have gotten, Alter Ego, or Sakura.
Yeah.
Really, just those two, I
Right.
guess. Like, those were, well, Byakuya, I guess. But I mean, they're not reality warping, is what I'm getting.
That's true. That's true.
And this
is kind of reality warping. Like, are there fans in the walls just constantly blowing the petals off?
Yeah, I mean, where does that come from? Wait a second. Was there anything left?
Well, we couldn't get in the...
Right, okay, so we've gone everywhere, so now it's time to do the wrap-up. So we'll do the wrap-up next time. We've definitely managed to explore everywhere and come up with a whole lot of things to think about.
Especially those lockers!